confidence that he gained from winning last week, it's going to serve him well today because he's going to have a fight on his hands here in a second.
All right, let's go down to Tiffany Simons with more on Josh Grant. Tiffany.
Well, guys, in Moto 1, Josh Grant battled it out at the very end with Chad Reed, and he took second. So I followed up with him asking him, would you change anything about Moto 1? Did you learn anything, or is your strategy going to be different? He goes, no, actually, I wouldn't do anything differently. I needed to ride clean. I didn't. I've seen that I want to not take risks. I want to be more consistent in these runs. And that's what he's trying to do in this second one. He told me earlier, he's not looking to come out here and do anything crazy. He wants to stay on his bike. And that's what he's doing so far right now.
Well, Tiffany and you folks at home probably remember the huge crash that Josh Grant had a couple of weeks ago in Pennsylvania. Can he keep it on two wheels and win today in Michigan? We'll find out. More racing when we return. Olympic gold medalist Shaun White leads skateboarding's biggest names and rising stars as they compete for the largest skateboarding purse in history. It's the Maloof Money Cup in 2 weeks on NBC. And they're racing for the money here at Redbud motocross style. Josh Grant on the blue bike seizing the lead for the man on the red bike, Ivan Tedesco, and Tedesco trying to get him back. Do you like what you see here, Ricky? What a battle!
Oh, man, I got nervous there. I didn't know what was going to happen. Ivan needs to get going, man. Don't let him get away, or at least latch onto him and follow his lines and be there at the end to capitalize on a mistake or something.
Yeah, it looks like Josh has figured out the momentum, and that's what worked so well for him towards the end of that first moto was you see him going wide right here. His lines are a lot more sweeping. He's able to carry his momentum a lot better, and boy, I'll tell you what, after he made that pass and he hit that jump a minute ago, we both kind of pulled our shoulders in and tried to make ourselves more narrow. There's a lot of ruts going down this hill. And Josh just rode right through the middle of all of them, took the inside, and kind of surprised Ivan right there with his pass.
Right, he just let the bike float through there, let his suspension work properly, and boom, had the inside. The rest is history.
All right, so we've had 4 different riders win their first ever race in this premier class of AMA Pro Motocross. Could Josh Grant become the 5th one this year to win his first? Tedesco, Short, Reed, those guys are going to have to fight back to stop him. Or Grant will be a first-time winner today. How about Reed? We're at the halfway mark, folks, and just about 15 minutes left in a 30-minute plus 2-lap moto. And the second half of the races seems to be where Reed hits his stride, but he's got 3 fast riders in front of him, even if he does hit that stride.
Absolutely. There's no slouch. Look at my old mechanic, Mike Gosser, there getting fired up, man. He wants this championship just as bad as Chad does. And, you know, he's out there trying. But like you said, Jason, these guys are good. I mean, you know, they're out there. They're wanting to win, too. You got Josh Grant. He's wanting, you know, he's never won a 450, you know, an overall. Andrew Short wanting to show everybody that he can win. He's a close second points. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so Reed's got to get a move on here, and we'll see what he can do. Now, in the point standings for this Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, Reed leads, and Short is second. Reed made up a few points by beating Short in Moto 1. Short could get those back if he holds Reed off here, so don't think the 29 of Short in the red bike and the 22 of Reed in the yellow bike. They know the big picture. They know the points. They know they need to beat each other, even if it's just a race for third. So they're definitely motivated right now.
Absolutely. Cool line Reed had right there.
Yeah, he kind of manualed over that bump and then gassed it all the way down the backside where there aren't any ruts, and he could be more aggressive with the power right there. I would think that he would get a little bit of a panic to try to get around Short right here, but they're not losing that much time on first and second. So I think Chad can afford to be smart still, but see up there at the top, 13 minutes to go. It's getting around the next lap or two. I mean, he's got to make it happen.
Force in the hand, absolutely.
Reed through that sand loop section there, approaching the Lucas Oil Leap. Used to call that LaRocco's Leap out here, named after this area's favorite rider, Mike LaRocco, one of the first riders that ever jumped it. Mike's now a team coach and consultant. Here's the big jump, over 100 feet out. And these guys make it look oh so easy.
How much lower Chad stayed off that jump than Andrew.
A little bit of that supercross skill coming in, maybe.
Keeping the bike low, that means you get back down to the ground, dig some traction, get some power, and move forward. Now, Reed's running the red, white, and blue gear. He's an Australian, but we talked about it all weekend. He understands Independence Day. It was always his dream to come here and live in the United States and race for championships here, even though he grew up on the other side of the world. So I know the Australian colors are red, white, and blue as well, but He's an adopted American. He is in fourth, going after Short. Short's from Colorado. Second place rider Tedesco from New Mexico, and Josh Grant, born and raised in California, but now lives in North Carolina. So all regions of the globe really represented in this battle here on July 4th. Short trying to hold off Reed. Tedesco trying to go after Grant. All four of these riders still have a shot at it. The mechanics are nervous. So are we. We don't know who's going to win. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Monster Energy Triple Crown of Motocross. Now, Monster Energy sponsors one of the top 250 class motocross teams. That's the support division that graduates riders into this 450 class, like Ivan Tedesco. It's the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Riders like Ricky Carmichael came through there. Tedesco, some of the all-time greats. They build champions and then graduate them into this class. For more on that team, let's get an in-depth look at Team Monster Energy. The #1 plates on the hauler says it all. 8 times a Monster Energy Pro Circuit rider has captured the 250 class title, including the past 3 years when Washington State's Ryan Villapoto guided his Kawasaki to the championship.
You know, the kids that I like are the kids that really try hard, and sometimes it's maybe not, you know, the easiest pick, which is the most talented. It's easy to pick guys like, you know, like Carmichael, for instance, who was a kid that had all the talent and was really dedicated. Those guys are super easy to pick.
When you go and you ride for him, you're expected to do a job, and you do it 110%. And I know a lot of people, some people are like, oh, Mitch is hard and this and that, but if you ever sit back and look, the people that work hard, he never has a problem with.
Mitch Payton is the man with the magic touch. His riders win championships.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride when someone moves on from our program, like even as far back as McGrath and Ricky and those guys. And Deshaun left us years ago and became a world champion. And so it's always nice to see those guys when they're young, they've succeeded here, and then they move on, and then they've made a good career for themselves. And you're proud, you know, you're proud of that you had something to do with them, and hopefully you instilled some character traits that maybe they keep. So I'm happy for all of them, you know. A lot of them have left here and been really successful.
The 250 class races on the same weekends and same days of this 450 class. AllySports.com gives you coverage of those motos. Ricky, you came through that class, you came through that team.
Yes.
They really set riders up for a great career.
Yeah, they do. They just, you learn to win there. And then when you learn to win there, you try to drag it over to this side over here. Sometimes it don't go like planned, but he runs a class act operation. I mean, you guys seen it on TV. The number plates on the board speaks for itself.
Well, I think he takes it serious. He works really hard. So do all of his guys over there. They always have. And probably, I would say, the most successful team ever. I can't think of a year they went without a title, either in the East or the West or the 250 division or whatever. And you know, it makes you take yourself serious, I think, when you sign up over there and you don't work hard enough. Mitch will let you hear it.
Absolutely.
Here's your battle. Josh Grant has pulled away quite a bit now from Tedesco, and Reed has gotten around Short. So Reed is up to third and going after Tedesco for the #2 spot. But here's the problem for Reed. Even if he gets past Tedesco for second, he will tie Josh Grant on the day for points, and the tiebreaker goes to the better finish in Moto 2. So if Reed wants to win this race overall, he'll have to pass Tedesco and then catch and pass Grant. The way Grant's riding, that's not going to be easy, but it's motocross, and this track is filled with pitfalls. You never know, and that's what Reed says. You got to be in it to win it.
It's going to be tough at this point for Reed to really catch up to Grant. Grant is riding that good, you know, and I don't say it's going to be actually cake to get by Tedesco. He's riding good. It took him a while to get by Short. So we'll see what happens. But anything like that could happen, as we talk about.
That was he did a good job to dodge that, get his foot out of the way. That could have messed him up for he got stuck on the brake pedal. The brake disc is on the right side, so he dodged a bullet there by not getting that plastic hung up in there and lose the brake altogether. There's 6 minutes to go. There's time for him if he really lights it up and rides perfect and puts on a surge to catch the leader, but it's not looking good right now.
Ooh, look at Tedesco just barely clips that hay bale there, and then Reed takes care of it.
And they say that those covers on the hay bale, that Lucas oil cover, it's almost like Velcro. It will snag the bike easily. Reed was lucky not to get that thing caught.
I think Tedesco's foot might have hit that.
Man.
Look at Reedy out there.
Struggling a bit.
He's messing up right now.
Cross running, yeah.
If he keeps doing that, and I've seen him doing it one other time after the drop-off, where he lost his balance a little bit. He's shaking his head like, come on, I know how to ride better than this, and he better start doing it or he's going to lose.
Yep. All right, he's got to step it up, and he's running out of time. Reed is stuck in third. Tedesco second. Josh Grant going to try to win this thing. Stay with us.